If you're drawn to the nitty-gritty reality of true crime, you've come to the right place. Boundary County, Idaho Crime Dive is your daily dose of investigative reporting, exploring the most shocking, compelling, and disturbing cases from Boundary County, Idaho. Grab the popcorn, pull up a chair, and join us as we unpack the facts, delve into the motives, and explore the lasting impact of these crimes and the people behind them. Let's go ahead and dive right in. In today's episode, we are going to be going over the No Kings riot in Bonners Ferry, Idaho, and the other riots that have been happening all over the country. As far as I know, the one they had in Bonners Ferry was not violent. But that is because people here know that we won't stand for the kind of violence that the so-called peaceful protesters have been causing all over the country. And you can see that clearly. There weren't very many protesters in Bonners Ferry at the No Kings riot in Boundary County. That is because Idaho is a red state, and most of Boundary County are Republicans. True patriots. Police departments all over the country are now putting their foot down and are not going to put up with the violence toward police and military at local riots. The liberals call them peaceful, but we can all see that they are anything but. And honestly, I don't blame these police departments one bit. What they are doing is a crime.
So I'm gonna break it down for you, all right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order.
They are committing crimes when they throw bricks at law enforcement and military. They are committing crimes when they burn up cars and trash buildings and graffiti everything, and when they loot stores and businesses. Just take a look at these next few clips of the riots happening in LA right now. This is appalling.
Take a look at this here on your screen. We have a post from a Fox 11 reporter, Matthew Seedorf, saying, breaking, federal sources tell me the, quote, rock thrower from Saturday's violent clash in Paramount, California has been identified as Elpidio Reyna. The FBI believes Reyna is the man seen on video hurling rocks at Border Patrol agents. There's a $50,000 reward leading to his arrest. It does get cut off a little bit there. But I want to showcase some of that video that Matthew is referencing to here. He did break this story for our team at Fox 11. So take a look here in case you have not seen it yet. These are just some of the videos that we have been showcasing for you, and that is the suspect that right now I do believe police are still looking for. Authorities there identifying that man. Now on Saturday, Border Patrol had a staging area in Paramount, California when they were confronted by protesters. Agitators then started throwing glass bottles and chunks of cement toward authorities, who fired back with tear gas and rubber bullets. Video there obtained by Fox shows Border Patrol agents leaving the tense situation Saturday while their vehicle was hit by numerous rocks. The FBI used social media videos and a Fox 11 News report to identify that rock thrower. According to officials, they're going to continue investigating protest videos shared on social media to make additional arrests. They had said this: we have a mission here in Los Angeles. We won't be deterred from that mission, whether it's arresting illegal aliens or protecting federal facilities. We are going to do that. If anyone thinks this guy or any other thug out there is going to stop us from doing our job, they've got to think again. Again, that is law enforcement down there in Los Angeles. The FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for any information leading to that suspect's arrest.
Police in riot gear cracked down on a mob gone out of control near downtown Los Angeles late last night. A large group vandalized police cars, metro trains, and businesses. Welcome to the Fox 11 Weekend News. I'm Laura Diaz. Susan has the night off. The chaos left a trail of destruction. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez live in downtown LA with what happened. Christina?
Yeah, you can see some of the destruction behind us, some of the windows as they tried to break in. You'll notice that people who work in this area did not want their faces on camera when we talked to them. They say this crowd was pretty scary. Take a look. Crowds of people leaving the rooftop of an empty warehouse on Trinity Street in downtown LA. LAPD responding to what they describe as an unpermitted music event that quickly escalated. Fireworks lit on the street as the crowd moved on to Washington Boulevard, with LAPD tactical units right behind them. Video here of metro trains covered in graffiti. Police saying the line was temporarily stopped in Washington, where partiers marked up the trains as they banged on windows at stuck passengers. The crowd leaving their graffitis marked not only on the trains, but the businesses all along Washington at Trinity.
It definitely is a lot.
Dumbfounded customers reacting at the few businesses that opened today at a mini mall off Washington, where almost every inch of walls and windows covered with graffiti. Hundreds and hundreds of people. Y todo este graffiti, all this stuff. It could have been worse, he says, pointing to the only broken windows, those of the Waba grill that remain closed. They went overboard, says the man at a mobile key business. His concern echoes others I spoke with off camera who say they'd seen illegal party crews come out of the surrounding warehouses, scribble some graffiti, but nothing quite like this.
Kids will be kids, but yeah, it's definitely a bit much. A little too much sugar or something.
Or something, indeed. Now, no arrest, but LAPD saying they did have one officer injured, transported to a hospital. The extent of the injury is not known, although we are told they are not life-threatening. Live in downtown Los Angeles, I'm Christina Gonzalez, back in the studio, Laura.
Christina, this was incredibly disrespectful to people and property. Any idea what led up to it?
They're saying it was some kind of music event that was not, they did not get a permit. And, we have a lot of the empty warehouses here get taken over for raves, but usually they have some kind of permit. This, according to LAPD, was not. They just kind of took over the place. And people here saying they're beginning to have a problem with that. A lot of empty buildings in the area.
The liberals are so ignorant to think that Trump is the first one to deport illegals from the US of A. Barack Obama deported more than Trump has when he was in office. But we never heard a peep from them when he was deporting illegals. And we still haven't heard a word about Obama deporting millions while these riots are happening. Just take a look at this.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the US illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century. Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable.
We all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants. We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully.
This is not going to be a free ride. It's not going to be some instant amnesty.
Come on, Brock.
What's going to happen is you are going to pay a significant fine. You are going to learn English. You are going to go to the back of the line so that you don't get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico City applying legally. But after you've done these things over a certain period of time, you can earn your citizenship, so that it's not something that is guaranteed or automatic. You've got to earn it, but over time, you give people an opportunity. Now, it only works, though, if you do all the pieces. I think the American people, they appreciate and believe in immigration, but they can't have a situation where you just have 500,000 people pouring over the border without any kind of mechanism to control it. So we've got to deal with that.
These illegals and liberals actually think that what they are doing aren't crimes? Please tell me they aren't this delusional. How can they actually be so clueless and ignorant? You can unalive someone with a brick or the other things they were throwing at law enforcement and the military. They were throwing scooters, the kind you can rent and ride around LA. They were throwing rocks, bricks, and anything else they could get their hands on. And then they are going to whine and cry when they are going to be held accountable for their actions? I think not. Actions have consequences. Watch this.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you. You don't have to sit there and just be a sitting duck and let the mob grab you out of your car and drag you through the streets. You have a right to defend yourself in Florida.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
Shoot protesters dead in Florida? Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Hassan, and when I watched this clip, I was honestly appalled and shocked. I just can't believe that we're living in the United States of America, about to celebrate our 250th anniversary next year, and we are watching this kind of extremist statements that ignore reason, rule of law, common sense, common decency. But somebody picking up a brick or something is going to get shot dead, if I understood that correctly.
You're telling me this grown man who's supposed to protect the people of this country got up on the podium today and said, if we feel threatened at any point, we're not playing. Like, your family members will get sent to their door. I don't even know what to say. Like, what the is happening? How is he allowed to say like this? Like,
that was the sheriff of Brevard County, Wayne Ivey. I'm gonna disregard the gun part because that's just not happening. You want me to believe that because protesters are expressing their anger at their families being torn apart by the federal government, by ICE, that they're doing that and they're throwing bricks and they're shooting flares at heavily armed and armored police officers, National Guard troops, and Marines, that gives you the right to shoot them? Like, that's ridiculous. This man is literally drumming up bloodlust to murder protesters in the street. Mind you, in this same press conference, he was encouraging people to run protesters over because I guess that's illegal around here, you know. We live in the worst timeline, and Florida is the...
It turns out that these riots are being funded by the left. They have uncovered proof of such. Just listen.
Just found a really great deep dive here from the Data Republican on X. So who is behind all these crazy riots in LA and that will be across the nation? Just like remember in the Summer of Love with BLM, remember who's organizing all that stuff? With this specifically is being funded by an individual by the name of Neville Singham, who actually made his money by pushing communist Chinese propaganda, became a billionaire doing it. He's now funding, and the guy behind all of these protests was also behind and tied to the protests at Columbia University, pushing all of that BS, if you don't remember. And then also, too, if you actually look at the social organization that's putting out these flyers, it's the Party for Socialism and Liberation, which is, and I kid you not, the actual Communist Party. So they're using Hispanics, they're using illegal immigrants, they're trying to hype people up thinking that they care, but they don't care. They would stop illegal immigration. Obama deported people, why all of a sudden now? It's political.
That is all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and click the bell icon so that you will be notified when I upload another video. I will catch y'all in the next video. Stay safe, Patriots. The people have a right to know.